Hello everyone, this is Kevin Mange, and this is Kev's TV series. So, in today's topic, I'm going to discuss about Horcruxes. And I believe you're wondering why I'm bringing up the term Horcruxes. Well, first off, we understand from the Harry Potter universe of what Horcruxes really are, explained by Horace Slughorn to Tom Riddle about how he understands about what Horcruxes are. So that means when Horace Slughorn told Tom Riddle about Horcruxes, it gave the motivation to Tom Riddle to change himself. He changed from a half-blood to a pureblood. You see, the truth is, to Tom Riddle, the reason why he just wants to make Horcruxes was just to get rid of his muggle half. There's one part of him that's magical and one part of him that's muggle. And when Tom Riddle was looking for any traces of another Tom Riddle that has been to a magical school like he does, way before him, apparently there are no traces of any Tom Riddle at all. But he has some distinguishes of what his father does look like, that looks like him himself. And his uncle, Morphingaunt, thought that he just looks like that muggle up in that manor that was close by to his uncle. And that was the only known Tom around. But he goes by Thomas Riddle. So, we all know the story of how Tom Riddle murdered his father. And since he understands more about his heritage a little bit, is why he just wants to get rid of that part of him. That part of him that is just like his dad. So he had to murder those that are Muggles related. He basically despised his name because of being the only known Tom Riddle ever at Hogwarts. But the reason why he got that name was because of his dying mother. His mother named him Tom after his own father that abandoned him, / his wife, Tom Riddle's mother, and that's why he despised that person for abandoning his wife. So he decided to go to his father and kill him because of why he abandoned his wife, but not out of revenge, more like what he is known for because of how his life was like. He lost his mother, but his father abandoned his mother. So that's why Tom Riddle never had any connection towards love, remorse, anything that Harry Potter wants Voldemort to ever have. So since I understand that he's not someone to understand about love whatsoever or friendship, I understand that. But when he was looking for his father at Hogwarts, he understands that his mother was weak because of why his mother was easily weak by death. So that's why he went in looking for his father in the Hogwarts archives. But with nothing in that recollection, it has nothing to do with his mother being weak. He's magical on his mother's side, so I bet he understands that after thinking what he thought from before. And he thought his mom was weak. Turns out his mom was magical. And by being magical from his mom, it's partly revenge and partly not. Because of why Thomas Riddle abandoned Marupe Gaunt. So since we understand about how Tom's Riddle's motivations are and how he works is why he killed his father. He just doesn't want the name of a filthy Muggle father. He despised him because of why, number one, A, he abandoned his mother, and B, because of his heritage. He lives up to the Slytherin name because of his upbringing. So what did Tom do? He just wants to find a way to get rid of that part of him. That part of him that wouldn't make him a Muggle whatsoever. So, the only way to do that is with Horcruxes. And of how Horcrux is understand it is how Horace Slughorn explained it to Tom Riddle. A Horcrux is an object that holds a part of your soul. In other words, you cannot die. And Tom Riddle asks about, and how does one split his soul? And Horace Slughorn says, well, you know the answer to that, Tom. Tom Riddle replies, murder. Making a Horcrux is actually a violation against nature. Because when you split your soul, you're splitting a violation of the human body. And that human body is a part of what people definitely have, a soul. Because of that, and what Tom understands of how to achieve a Horcrux is to split his soul. So that's what he did. He split his soul into objects that he does. He split his soul into a diary of his, Salazar Slytherin's locket, Helga Hufflepuff's cup, Rowena Ravenclaw's diadem, Harry Potter unintentionally, Nagini, and the Gaunt Ring. And that makes 7. He sort of accomplished his goal, but also backfires, because the one of the 7 was an unintentional Horcrux. And this is what I understand it about what really went down when Voldemort doesn't know of how he was defeated. You see, by when Voldemort wanted to achieve to making 7 Horcruxes is why that backfired. Because one of them is why it caused his downfall. If Tom Riddle never made an unintentional Horcrux, he would only achieve 6 and not 7. But if Harry Potter wasn't a Horcrux, what would be really his 7th? The answer to that is what you can answer of what would have been his 7th. Maybe it could be one of Godric Gryffindor's items, maybe. And you might be thinking either the Sorting Hat or the Sword of Gryffindor. Well, I'll just leave that to you if Voldemort would be able to make one out of that. I'll discuss that in another video of which one could have been a Horcrux and which ones could not, either between the Sword of Gryffindor or the Sorting Hat. So that there's one item that is definitely from Godric Gryffindor. But with the others mentioned of the 6 is what he accomplished on. So, by splitting his soul is why he became Voldemort. Voldemort is actually Tom Riddle himself. So, even if I try to mention his actual name, apparently it's not his name. Since he splitted his soul, he doesn't go by Tom Riddle anymore. But get this, by using his name, Tom Marvolo Riddle, it's a scrambled word of what he goes by now. The scrambled word of Tom Marvolo Riddle explains about when he rearranges the letters, it goes to by I am Lord Voldemort. When you think about it, if you re-scramble the letters, it isn't Tom Marvolo Riddle. It goes by I am Lord Voldemort. Think about it. If you could re-scramble the letters in any way you want, what would you think his new name would be if he wouldn't be Voldemort? If you could re-scramble the letters, and what would be a different name for, well, what you think Tom Riddle could have changed his name from not being Voldemort, what would it actually been? I am, and the rest of the lettering. I'll leave that to you of what other name he could think of instead of being Voldemort. So that's why Tom Riddle is Voldemort. And explains on his heritage by splitting his name because he has a connection to Salazar Slytherin, the heir of Salazar Slytherin, never Harry Potter. The reason why Harry Potter could speak to snakes was because of the accidental Horcrux in him by his scar on his forehead by a lightning bolt. And that's why making his Horcruxes backfired. Because of the unintentional Horcrux. Because of Harry Potter. And if he could have stopped this prophecy from happening, Voldemort believed it could have been him, but if he could have actually stopped this from happening, he could have easily moved Lily out of the way and actually killed the baby instead. And by killing the baby instead, that could be a good new what if. What if Harry Potter killed the baby and not Lily Potter? So I'll leave you guys to that on a what if Voldemort killed baby Harry. So Voldemort would just deadly spare Lily out of Snape's wishes, despite how Lily didn't want to move. Voldemort would make her move and then kill the baby. But I'll just leave that to a different topic because this is about Horcruxes, not about that scenario. So, since Tom Riddle achieved this event of making Horcruxes and became Voldemort, of what I understand about it, well, I do not know if you guys might think this is a cool idea idea for me if, well, I don't know what you might think of if I were to make a Horcrux. I want to know what you guys think of if I were to make a Horcrux. I may murder people, but I have to really murder them by magically. Magically means so if I were to make Horcruxes, what would be my objects be? Well, maybe I could explain that also in another video, but not now. So, if you're wondering why I would want to make Horcruxes, according to me, and why I would want to murder people, it's not because I want to murder people. I just would only murder, but only to get rid of what makes me me. I want to make Horcruxes because, well, what is the Horcruxes really about? Horcruxes is another way of saying it's a part of the dark arts. I want to embrace the dark arts. So this is what's different about me. Even though there's a part of me that I'm afraid of, there's a part of me that I shouldn't be afraid of if I were to be in the wizarding world. And that's why I would want to make Horcruxes. Because according to me, making Horcruxes can finally get rid of this weak self of me. And what makes me weak? Being human. Being human means you have emotions. And that's something Voldemort doesn't have. Voldemort never has emotions. If I were to join the Death Eaters, I will go back to part 2 for that. But if I were to join the Death Eaters, I would just want to talk to them about actually me joining and laying it down because of what's going through my head of why I would want to join them. Now, if you want to know why, but because of why I can relate with the Death Eaters. Because of what my mom has did to me. My mom has walked over me enough already. My mom walked all over me because of my things. My guitar, my windows. It's as if my mom just wants my guitar and wants to learn the guitar. It's as if my mom wants my windows only so that I would be able to use this window thing that it has to, and I want to lower it or open it all I want. And you're thinking that that's yours because of why you're telling me to do that? My stuff is not your stuff. I am committed to my guitar. I am committed to my window thing that it has. And you are walking all over me because of those things. But also walking all over me because of my emotions. It's if I don't know my mom anymore. True, it may be about my things, but my things are my things. And my mom should leave them be. It's my stuff, not yours. But yelling at me? Getting angry at me? And then somehow I'm emotional because of why I feel bad about you? I know I care about you, but I just want to join the Death Eaters only to show that I'm willing to risk not caring anymore. Caring is weak. Caring for people, loving people is weak. I just want to get rid of everything that will get me to be just like Voldemort. But that's just the nature of the dark arts. I'm thinking if the Horcruxes could mess around with me, it'd be more than just what I'm feeling. It will bring out a part of me that I want to get rid of. I want to get rid of everything that the Death Eaters want to kill for. I'm everything why the Death Eaters want to kill me for. If they want to kill me, I'm willing to do that for them. But I do not want them to kill me just for killing me. I'll do that. But the only way to do that is by making Horcruxes. And who's going to let me learn that? Voldemort. If I would let Voldemort to let me learn how to make Horcruxes, everything that's me will be gone. And Kevin Andrew Mange will not exist because of why Kevin Andrew Mange is just too emotional. So whatever name I would change my scrambled name to be, I'm pretty sure Voldemort can change that. Can change my name. And let's see what new dark wizard name I could be in the wizarding world. I do want something like this. And suddenly, what was holding me back all this time will no longer hold me back. I would finally kill. I would finally torture. And I love it. I will kill for Lord Voldemort. I will torture for Lord Voldemort. Everything that wasn't me will be all for the name of Voldemort. And the Horcruxes will be my saving grace to let go of the person I once was. So, there you have it. That's what I'll use my Horcruxes for, just to get rid of what I know just makes me weak. Some of you may think that being human isn't a weakness. But in the wizarding world, this is way different. In the wizarding world, being human is weak. Because Voldemort knows it. When he once was Tom Riddle, and he had to get rid of his name. If he can make Horcruxes, why can't I? So if I get rid of this Muggle self, I would purify everything that I would despise in the end of what the Horcruxes will do to me. Turn me into someone that's more serious and be more dangerous to people that would ever cross me because of what they think of me. I won't go anywhere if somebody calls me weak or yells at me or getting mad at me or being mean at me. Anybody that does that is on my hit list to kill, to torture. Nobody does that to me and gets away with it. So those that were mad at me, beware of me. I'm not messing around. That is a dark wizard within me, the one that wants this. I may not have any emotions, but apparently that's how Voldemort functions. Voldemort would be my mentor and the true father figure I could have ever have. So, I just have an affinity for the dark arts. I want to learn the dark arts just in general, but the Horcruxes puts me under personal stuff than ever. And something that I definitely would want to consider and learn. And Voldemort can help me. He can lead me there. And I know for a fact that Harry denied a chance to offer a good friendship with Draco. But that'll just remind me for what Harry couldn't do. What Harry couldn't do, I'll do. I will shake the hand of Voldemort, letting Harry Potter to understand that he shouldn't have denied Draco's handshake because Draco was just offering friendship. Draco was literally offering friendship. I'm sorry he made Ron feel that way, dude. But at least understand what Draco's motivations were right then and there. But I know I would do what you couldn't. I would shake the hand of Voldemort. And I'll be on the path of what Voldemort will help me learn. Of what I think about why I would want to make Horcruxes? Well, I think to me, you may never know the unknown, but you must know the unknown, because if you're afraid of the unknown, what's so scary about the unknown if you don't know it? Fearing the unknown is you'll never know it. So you must know the unknown. Otherwise, you'll never know what you're missing. And I wouldn't want to pass up this opportunity. So I think it's wise to know the unknown than being afraid of the unknown. It's not like I'm afraid of it. You must understand what the unknown really is about. Know it, then not know it. If you don't know it, I understand why you would be afraid of it. But if you know it, then there's no reason to be afraid. Just accept the unknown, and you'll never know what the unknown has to hold. The unknown is mysterious, waiting to be learned. And that's why I want to know the unknown. Make the Horcruxes, and I'll be lifted up from all that held me back, from all that makes me lifted. It may have its side effects, but here's my wisdom to you all. Know the unknown and not know the unknown. So, there you have it. My wisdom is to know the unknown and to not let not knowing the unknown. That's my advice and wisdom to you all. Understand the unknown or be afraid. But I recommend don't be afraid. Accept. What would have made your fear come true will be gone. Let the darkness in. There you go, my parting words. of the unknown. Later.